Citroen C5, 2000 to 2008, is original in everything from appearance to technical component. And for all this originality they ask for quite sane money. Say, a used Frenchman, for all its eccentricity and cheapness, is not the best option for buying? Maybe so. But Victor Smirnov thinks otherwise. Cautious attitude towards the Citroen C5 among potential buyers is primarily due to rumors about the allegedly difficult and expensive maintenance, as well as the repair of the hydropneumatic suspension. Partly so it also is. However, looking ahead, I will say that the Hydractive 3 suspension is not as scary as many people imagine it to be. The main thing is to find a copy in good condition, and you will have to choose from two body modifications, a hatchback and a station wagon. At first, gasoline engines of 1.8, 116 horsepower, and 2.0 liters, 136 and 140 horsepower, were installed on the car, as well as a 3-liter V6 with a capacity of 207 horses. In the line of turbodiesels, 4's 2.0, 90 and 109 horsepower, and 2.2 liters, 133 horsepower. The standard gearbox is a 5-speed manual. A 4-band automatic was offered on request. Since 2005, the range of power units and transmissions has changed somewhat. Solid outside, Citroen C5 is very spacious inside. There is plenty of room in front, and there is enough in the back, and it is comfortable to sit due to the absence of a central tunnel, so 3 adults are quite comfortable there. Moreover, the hatchback is practical and roomy, with the rear seats folded down. The trunk volume is 1,330 liters. The C5 brake station wagon fits 1,660 horsepower. Pleased with the used Frenchman and equipment. The standard Citroen C5 had ABS, 6 airbags, anti-skid and traction control systems, air conditioning, electric front windows and heated mirrors. The SX version already had a hydropneumatic suspension, electric rear windows, climate control, an onboard computer and fog lights. Some versions were supplemented with alloy wheels, power front seats, xenon headlight washer and cruise control. C5 with V6 was originally equipped with a 4-band automatic. For engines of 1.8 and 2.0 liters from domestic fuel, oxygen sensors fail by 100,000 kilometers. Catalytic converters withstand an average of 1.5 times more. At risk are traditionally spark plugs and ignition coils. Vibrations during acceleration and braking will herald a lower engine mount. The throttle body and idle air valve are recommended to be cleaned every 2 years or after 50,000 kilometers. Radiators leak from salt and anti-icing reagents, but V6s are quite reliable, although they are noticeably more expensive in content than the 4s. On turbodiesels, high-pressure fuel pumps and injection nozzles wear out with age. In the front suspension, the struts and stabilizer bushings hold up to 50,000 to 60,000 kilometers. Wheel bearings last a little longer. Ball bearings and silent blocks of levers are enough for 100. In steering, every 70,000 kilometers it is necessary to update the steering rods and tips, but the rail itself can withstand up to 200,000 kilometers. Hydropneumatic suspension Hydractive 3 has become more reliable than its predecessor. For example, a servo-driven hydraulic pump lasts more than 200,000 kilometers. The control unit or suspension position sensors may fail. Hydrospheres are usually enough for 150,000 kilometers. In mechanical boxes, after 100,000 kilometers, you have to change the drive cables or their plastic tips. The AL4 automatic transmission does not like cold loads. By 100,000 kilometers, a block of hydraulic valves is usually rented out. Often the electronic control unit of the box is buggy. May require clutch pack replacement. 6-speed ZF automatics and 5-band Aisin prove to be the best. Engines are prone to overheating due to radiator leaks, as well as failure of fans, thermostat and coolant pump, or even coolant level sensor in the expansion tank. Over time, motors eat up oil. The standard gearbox is a 5-speed manual. A 4-band automatic was offered on request. After the upgrade, a 6-speed automatic transmission began to be combined with the V6, and the 6-speed mechanics was intended for a 138 horsepower turbo diesel. In the front suspension, the average service life of most elements is no less than that of classmates. Instead of the usual springs and shock absorbers, there are hydraulic cylinders and hydraulic accumulator spheres, which are often enough for 150,000 kilometers. The Hydractive 3 hydropneumatic suspension contains a special LDS fluid, which is recommended to be changed every 60,000 kilometers. The hydraulic pump is driven by an electric drive and lasts up to 200,000 kilometers. In the rear suspension, trailing arm roller bearings wear out by 100,000 kilometers. If you hear a creak and a slight click coming from the back of the machine, immediately change these parts, otherwise they will break the seats over time, and then you will have to buy new levers. The body adequately resists corrosion, as its paintwork is very resistant. On the first cars, the rear windows often shattered, but then they began to install reinforced ones. The windshield, on the other hand, is soft and wears out quickly. The washer motor does not last long either.